We have the biggest equipment. We can be a logistics platform for intra-African trade. That is what we are looking at. So we are really, really desirous of having people connecting on our platforms. And this is the kind of result that will come from stakeholder engagements like this. We urge people to take advantage of the opportunities presented by this magnificent facility.
Meanwhile, some members of the UK-Ghana Chamber of Commerce say such visits afford members the opportunity to learn.
Today's event has been very useful in the sense that we supply laboratory equipment and consumables. So getting to know how MPS Terminal 3 operates has been very useful for us. I think it's been very brilliant, and we look forward to many more of such visits because it really helps our business to have this kind of understanding of how some of the authorities or agencies kind of operate.
You know, UK Chamber is helping Ghana businesses, coordinating with the government and other authorities in Ghana to ensure that our business are run smoothly, so it will be competitive. We would like to thank UK Chamber for organizing such an event. And we wish in the near future they will organize another one.
The new Tema port and the MPS is the biggest port project in sub-Saharan Africa. Let's do some business registration stories now. Over 600,000 businesses, including churches, which are limited by guarantee, risk having their names being deleted from the register of companies if they fail to file their returns and also re-register. The companies now have up to the end of December to do so, or may have to wait for 12 years before they can be readmitted to the register by the Registrar General if their names are struck out. This was disclosed by the Registrar General, Jemima Owari, when she paid a courtesy call on the Multimedia Group Limited. There's more in this report.
You have to update the registrar. It's law. Okay. Now, between 1963 to now, many businesses in Ghana, and I'm talking about big businesses in Ghana, have not bothered to do this re-registration. So what they are telling me is they've not also filed annual returns. And under the laws, I can go ahead and dissolve you. And that's what I want to do now. I want to kickstart that process of dissolving and taking dormant companies off my register. So if you know you are not dormant, if you know you are seriously doing business in Ghana, then please, I'll put out a notice by the end of March and give you 2 months. Come and inform me whether you are still operating in Ghana by filing your annual return and your financial statement. If for any reason you haven't even done business since 1963 to date, no problem. We file what we call a nil return, where the financial statement, the auditor will state that this company has not done business. But give me information on the company, whether the name is still the same, whether the directors are dead and gone, and if they are dead and gone, who replaced them? Yeah, maybe the shareholders have been changed. Who are the new shareholders? That's the information I require when I say file an annual return. And so between now and March, I'll come out with a notice and put out the names of all such businesses. Try my best. I'm talking about 600 and something thousand that have not bothered to do re-registration, because I've registered the historical database about 700,000. Less than 10% have done the re-registration.
Less than 10%. So what is happening to the 90%?
Yes, they are sitting there doing businesses, contracts, and yet they are dead to me.
Yeah. But when you dissolve them, what will be their basis of walking around and saying their companies? What will happen to them?
Yeah, in law, if I finally dissolve you and strike your name off the register, you cannot carry on business in Ghana again until 12 years. You have a whole 12 years within which you can petition the courts, the high courts, and if they so wish, they will put your name, they will compel me to put your name back on the register. But I cannot just dissolve a company name just like that. That's why I'm coming to you to sensitize the public. I'm giving you within now and the end of the year. Do what you have to do.
She also cautioned the public against paying monies to individuals through mobile money platforms to file their returns.
I want to use this medium to educate and sensitize the business community, not to be fooled or hoodwinked by anybody who calls them supposedly from my department that they are calling from the audit unit. They even actually give room numbers, room 10, room 33, that they are the audit unit that are calling for people to come and renew their businesses. Otherwise, I'll strike their names off the register. Then they give a Momo number and ask our clients to pay monies to this Momo number. I'm using your medium. Please do not pay any monies to anybody who calls you and ask you to pay money to a Momo number. First of all, Register General's Department does not have a Momo number. And they've registered these Momo numbers in their names and put at the end of it, Registered General Department. So you would think it's coming from my office. And they're asking for sums as high as 1,000 Ghana cedis. They are threatening them that if you don't come, we'll take your name off the register. And people are blindly believing this and paying them. I've been able to arrest one such person. I got conviction. He's behind bars right now.
How many years?
He got it for 6 months.
Okay.
But they haven't stopped. They are still all around my office. But they are saying they are in the office from the audit unit. They are lawyers. They are using all kinds of tricks. Please, the office has a bank, on-site bank, Fidelity Bank. If it comes to filing your annual returns, and let me give the figures out so that you don't get confused. To file an annual return is just 50 Ghana cedis for each year. To renew a business name is just 25 Ghana cedis for each year. To renew a partnership is just 75 Ghana cedis for each year. Re-registration is free. If anybody asks you that, pay for re-registration, it's free. To get the tax identification number is free. The only thing you pay is the penalty, which is currently 400 Ghana cedis. Just one time. People are even charging each month 400, and people are paying.
Away from this, the Banana Producers Association in Ghana is confident it will maximize exports in the coming weeks as stakeholders in the fruit and vegetable community sign on to a banana occupational health and safety initiative. Minister for Employment and Labour Relations Ignatius Bafwewia believes the move can ensure sustainable banana production and trade by improving sustainable lifestyles.
Workers within the banana production value chain can go about their daily activities without fear of not being covered under any occupational health and safety regulation. Facilitated by the World Banana Forum and Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, the Banana Occupational Health and Safety Initiative is expected to cushion farmers against some hazards that come with production of bananas in Ghana. Minister of Employment and Labour Relations Ignatius Bafwewia remarked the initiative will soon be replicated across all sectors of work.
This manual will be given live through constant application and reference by plantation owners as well as unions and workers to enable us reduce accidents on the farms to the barest minimum.
President of the Banana Producers Association, Anthony Blay, explained to Joy Business how urgent the Banana Occupational Health and Safety Initiative will be to enhancing exports of bananas from Ghana.
We are faced with the huge challenge of minimizing the impact of the use of agrochemicals, as well as relative to the fact that most of the activities are manual, which means that the human element, the people who are involved in the production processes, should be offered the needed protection.
Meanwhile, Health Services Manager of Golden Exotics Limited, Dr. Kofi David, has detailed to Joy Business content of the Banana Occupational Health and Safety Initiative.
It's actually an occupational health and safety management system that we are setting up. So this is more of the policy document. That's part one.
The manual will be officially launched in February and expected to benefit women in the banana production value chain.
Meanwhile, Employment and Labour Relations Minister Ignatius Bafwewia has impressed on employers to prioritize workers over customers. As Ghana's business climate improves, the scramble for consumers and prospective clients have left many companies change focus towards satisfying the needs and demands of customers to the neglect of their employees. According to Employment and Labour Minister, profit margins and productivity levels of companies can improve if only various organizations consider their workers as the core of their business success. He was speaking during the launch of the Occupational Health Hazard handout by the Banana Producers Association of Ghana.
Within the banking cycles, we often say that the customer is always right. But I think there have been other theories which are also challenging that particular position and saying that no, perhaps the worker is the most important person at the workplace, because if the worker is not motivated enough, no matter the number of customers you have, issues of workers' welfare then should be lifted to a certain stage, said that not just paying them well, yes, it is good you pay them well, but then other welfare issues, if we're taken care of, will make the worker happy, and in return, the worker will also give of his best to the organization.
It's live on the marketplace. Now, every depositor with locked-up funds below 70,000 Ghana cedis will be paid everything in cash. That's assurance coming from the receiver of the defunct financial institution. Now, this follows a report that depositors would again not get their entire funds. But the receiver, Eric Nananipa, tells Joy Business persons with funds above this amount would be settled with government bonds.
Tell you for a fact that we have paid, all right, between Monday, when we commenced payments, and yesterday, all right, we had paid a total of in excess of 10,000 claims. In excess of that 10,000 claims, we had paid in terms of value 610 million. We had paid. We paid schools. We credited accounts of schools. We credited accounts of hospitals. We credited accounts of some individuals. All right, so yes, we made those payments between Monday and Tuesday. All right, so we have made payments, but it doesn't surprise me because I know you would be surprised to know.
But don't you find that interesting that the receiver says I've processed these claims, I've sent text messages to maybe close to 2,000 people, and we cannot even get one person out and say that Joy FM, Joy Business, I have been a beneficiary. I won't give you the details. We are struggling.
Well, you may struggle because when people get money, they only want others to know that they have money, so you come with your worries and your problems on them. Okay, but we received several thank yous. We received several
and the receiver is prepared to share that with us.
I can share them with you. We received several thank yous that, thank you, the message came. I followed up with CBG. I got my funds. We have them. All right. But then, that is the occupational hazard that I face. No thank you as such to testify that yes, you've indeed delivered. And that's what it is. And that is what actually belies the hard work that we are doing.
In the president's announcement, he talked about the fact that everyone is going to get his or her money. Now, how is this payment being done? We are hearing a bit about cash and bonds. I have my money there, about 100 million Ghana cedis. The president has said that, George, you're going to get everything. What is this bonds thing all about? Well, why are you doing a mix of cash and bonds?
Let me explain, George, because I think this is a very important point. In the president's address, the president did say that all depositors, that depositors will be fully paid. Okay. There are monies that have been locked up. All right. Of course, this applies, and I must emphasize, okay, to depositors whose claims have been validated and agreed in the receivership process, and of course in the liquidation process. So it isn't any claim at all that would be admitted and paid, because I did mention that there are some frivolous claims. All right. So this applies to claims that have been validated. The president also did mention a sum of 5 billion cedis. And that is the worth or the value of outstanding claims in the region of 5 billion cedis. Government has provided funding to me. And what I have indeed is a 5 billion, which is consistent with the instructions and assurance of the president that there was going to be 5 billion cedis. I must also mention that it is consistent with the release of Bank of Ghana when I was appointed, and reiterated in my first press release. The key thing we did mention was to shore up confidence in the financial system, depositor funds were going to be protected. All right. So translated, that is the 5 billion remaining that is coming through. And it has come through by way of cash and bond. Okay. The cash component amounts to about 1 billion cedis, and there's 4 billion by way of bonds or commercial paper, because I realized that when I use the term bond, some people came back to me and said they didn't understand what were the implications, and also keeping it simple.
Now keeping it simple, just so it's 5 billion, right?
Yeah.
It's a mix of bond and cash.
That's right.
Can you give us the cash component of
The
it?
cash component is 1 billion cedis, out of which I have distributed within 2 days 610 million cedis.
You're left with 400 million.
I'm left with 400 million.
Can it meet the needs of your registered depositors?
Well, I mean, as far as the cash element is concerned, it will go a long way. It will go a long way in terms of the fact that if I make the necessary distributions of the 1 billion, all right, I'll be left with about 8,000 claims outstanding. All right, and we are coming from a position, I did mention 360,000 in number of claims. But if I'm able to disburse the 1 billion cedis, I will be left with 8,000 cedis, 8,000 in number of claims. So it's quite considerable.
But some will say that for a lot of these people out there who have been waiting for these cash, it's about liquidity. They want their cash.
Yes, they want their cash, George. But you should appreciate the context. This is an insolvency situation we are talking about. All right. A company is insolvent because it is not able to fully meet all its obligations. And therefore, in an insolvency situation, it is difficult to expect all your cash. But we have a situation where government has gone out of its way to undertake to pay everybody's deposit. Nobody's going to lose. That is those deposits that have been validated and agreed. What is better than that?
In your notes to Bank of Ghana, did you ask for more cash, or you wanted a mix of bond and cash?
Well, I asked for 5 billion cedis. That was based on the analysis cash of what was outstanding. I used funding of 5 billion.
All right, so get more of this interview when you watch the business edition of PM Express later tonight at 9 p.m. on the Joy News channel and on Multi-TV as well. Time now to go for the outcome of our polls. Today we've been posting the question on our Facebook page, and we've been asking whether or not you think the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, should accept invitation by NDC's Isaac Adongo to debate issues of the economy. Should Dr. Bawumia accept this challenge? That's the question we actually posed. There goes the outcome. 86% says yes, he should, and 14% say it is not necessary. So over 5,000 votes, or 5,000 people have already, 5,300 people have already cast their votes. You can also keep your votes coming in until the day closes. All right, now we go on. The Accra West region of the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, has cautioned the public to desist from power thefts. Speaking to Joy Business after surcharging a local radio station at Fotobi near Nsaom, Acting General Manager of the ECG, Engineer Emmanuel Ankuma, expressed shock at how some individuals and institutions are conniving to rid the company of the desired revenue. He noted it is time to clamp down on such nefarious activities. Fred Tiho has more in this report.
The Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG, is once again moving to arrest notorious entities who are persistently engaged in power theft. The inability of citizens to enjoy continuous power supply has sometimes been linked to illegal activities of unscrupulous persons and institutions who enjoy power at the expense of the rest of the public. The Accra West region of the ECG has declared war on such persons and institutions. A local FM station known as the Forum for Women Educationists FM has fallen victim to the situation. The company has been disconnected and surcharged 35,000 Ghana cedis. Acting General Manager of the ECG, Engineer Emmanuel Ankama, has been speaking to Joy Business.
The electricity company of Ghana, Accra West, is on its toes, working hard to get all illegal activities brought to book. As part of this exercise, we have an in-house method that we are adopting by analyzing the power consumptions of our customers. Through that exercise in-house, we had few customers that we identified as having their consumption below expectation. One of such customers is Fawe FM within our in-some operational area. So a team was tasked to visit that premises. It's a radio station. And as we did, suspected, it was found out to be true that they've indeed bypassed most of their gadgets. And some of the gadgets that we identified to having used electricity free was their transmitter, was their air conditionings, and other office equipments.
He promised the public a package when they report any such illegal activities.
The year 2019, we had to recover 5.3 million Ghana cedis. All this was recovered from illegal connections. We are saying customers desist from this act. It is weighing the company down. The company need monies to put up good equipment to serve you better. We are putting up a meter control center where all meters could be monitored from a console. So we have smart meters, and all our smart meters can directly be monitored from the office.
He indicated that his office is targeting to retrieve over 8 million Ghana cedis from illegal activities this year. Freddie Ho's report for Joy Business.
And that will be it for the marketplace today. Many thanks for your company. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji Riafi. For more business, you log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Have a good afternoon.